Hello, hello.
Hello, have we got some exciting news for you? We
Yes.
are Jesse and Irina, and Radical Connections TV so far is our YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
our mission is from single to married. And whatever we need to do to get you from there to here, that's what we do.
Yes.
And we are going to attack that with a whole new level of focus. And we used to have a hybrid of only marriage. I'm sorry, marriage and singles.
Singles.
That was dyslexia of the mouth there. My apologies.
You went faster than.
So yes, marriage is still important to us, and working with Carlos and Chantel, we've come to realize that their passion for marriage is as strong as our passion is to help singles get married.
Yeah, and to create that marriage.
So, what better flow for us to get singles started and moving towards marriage? You know, once they're engaged or married, and they want to keep growing and learning, and we hand them off to Carlos and Chantel. So that being said, that's our latest announcement. We're in the process of creating a brand new group on the school platform for that. Stay tuned. We haven't done anything yet, but we're going to
we
be.
did. We just putting things together.
The group is not started.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. So stay tuned as things are going to be developing in the coming week and weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exciting. Anyhow, so the topic I wanted to cover, what was the title again?
For singles.
For singles that want to get married.
Yes.
So if you don't want to get married, this is not for you. Unless you have a friend you want to teach.
Yeah.
And then listen for your friend.
Or share the link with them.
Yeah, right on. So anyhow, so how do you get married? You're single, and let's suppose you're like many singles we work with. You have money because you're just supporting you, and you have time to go on adventures and have fun because there's only you. So you hang out with friends, and you do this and you do that, and you do what you want to do because you can.
Yeah.
Question to ask: first of all, there's a season for that. You know, spreading your wings and have it. Go out there and exploring. However, there comes a point where we reach an age where we need to take the next level of responsibility, to be a dad, to be a father, to be a husband. And that responsibility can be intimidating to most people. Some embrace it and dive into it and like, let's go. And others are like, scared.
Yeah.
I was the scared type. But I came to a point, once I came to a point where the tipping point, where my desire and hunger to take on a responsibility that's greater than myself was greater than my wanting to stay in my comfort zone of singlehood. That's where things shifted.
Yeah.
I wanted and was ready for responsibility.
I love that. What Jesse just said, it's very, very important to find that tipping point for you. If you have fears, if you have triggers, if you have beliefs that's holding you back from getting there early in your 20s maybe, then we need to find what those things that's holding you back. And it's important to do that because when you go till you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're still single, you get so settled in the way that you are in the comfort zone, and you create excuses most of the time, sometimes not.
The longer you wait, the bigger the excuses become.
Yeah, and the challenge too is that when you become the way that you are, then bringing another person into your life and getting into yoking and uniting is actually harder unless you're willing to humble yourself and be united with another person. You don't have anything to prove, right? And so ego aside, pride aside. So that's some of the things that we actually help to.
My experience was unique in that.
Yeah.
I found it easy to flow into marriage.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Jesse was preparing, right? You were preparing.
I had spent years up to that point role playing my desire and commitment to not have to have everything done my way, to not get stuck in a rut. And here's how I
Yeah.
did that. I always lived with a roommate.
Yeah.
And by always having a roommate or living with roommates, it forced me to keep my uh, the muscle of flexibility and honoring another person's preferences and desires
Yeah.
sharp and strong,
That's good.
so that I don't get into this rut of living as a bachelor for 10, 20 years on my own and everything goes as I want it. Well, I couldn't do that with roommates.
Yeah.
And so I believe that that really contributed to it. So
Yeah, and other preparation things. So Jess and I both did a lot of things to prepare ourselves for marriage, and we're gonna bring them to you in the next videos and in our school group. That's gonna be from single to married group, and there's a lot of things. We're going to do challenges there. We're going to do videos there, community mentorship, and so much more. There's so many plans that we have for that, and live events as well. We're planning that. So there's a lot to come. If you want to join us, let us know in the comments. We'll share a link with you when it's created. I might attach the link in this video after we have it. That would be great. So, and Jesse, what else did you have?
What? You know, actually, what I just shared was truly from my heart, off the cuff, and not even according to what I thought I was going to talk about. But I can still share a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And how to get married to stay in accordance to the title, I suppose it'd be good.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to follow God's principle of in the beginning. First three words in the Bible indicate a creation of time and space for the creation to exist. And so we too have to follow that same principle. Whatever it is you want in life, whether if it's to get married, have that job, anything, you name it, from top to bottom, A to Z, whatever you want to create, it will never happen until you create the time for it and the space for it to exist. You can only add so many things to your calendar before you have to remove something to create space for what you want.
Yeah.
So you have to exercise the habit of saying no to the things that don't line up with what you really want. You know, and get rid of that. Goes into getting rid of people pleasing and doing, conducting
yes to everything.
Conducting your life in accordance to what others are demanding of you or think you should be doing instead of you going after what you want. So that's the first thing to do is start saying no to things and saying yes to what you really want to create and design in your life. And so once you've created the time and space for marriage, you'll get married. Okay, that sounds simple enough. What does that look like? Well, first of all, take inventory of your life and do a time audit of where is all your time going? Where's all your money going? Is it going to feed towards getting married? And your time, instead of just, playing video games, watching movies, or just randomly, casually hanging out with friends with no purpose, or doing anything without purpose, how about instead investing into some personal growth and development that is specifically towards building the skill sets necessary to create confidence, communication, commitment, connection, and the type of community that will support you and move you towards in that. We do that. We have that. So, I mean, you could start there. there's lots of other things out there that you can pick and choose. We go out there and we do the research for you to make it easier for you. And then also, and dedicate time to specifically reach out and make a new friend. Making new friends on purpose for the purpose of exercising your skills of building a new relationship. That's extremely valuable towards moving you towards that, doing it with your wife.
Yeah.
So
husband.
Or your husband.
For
Yeah.
women.
Yeah. And for me, obviously, it's going to be your wife. So make sure that what you want is the evidence of what you want is found on your calendar and in your budget.
Yeah.
Create the time and space for what you want. Anything less than that
Yeah.
is merely an excuse and a scapegoat for staying in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Whatever you put in front of marriage, I want to do this or that before I get married, is almost always, every single I've ever spoken of, attached to an agreement that they made that's going to keep them single until they change that
Yeah.
somehow.
I love that.
Because when it's all said and done, God created us to do life together.
Yeah.
To build that house together, to get out of debt together, to create that business together, start that business together,
to have children
together.
Yeah.
So if you're going, you like education, like you're getting a degree. I gotta say this very carefully.
Yeah.
I'll just say it this way: there are people who are married that decided to go get a degree. How were they able to do that? They made it a must. It's not impossible. If you make it a must, you can do whatever you want to do. You just create the time and space for it. So it basically comes down to whatever you make a must, you can do it. You'll be willing to go through the pain of making it happen if it's enough of a must.
Yeah.
So even going through education doesn't have to stop you if you, again, go to your calendar and make sure that do you have to cram it into a certain amount of years? Can you spread it out more?
Yeah.
I understand college educations can be spread out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to cram it into a couple of years. Spread it out over more time.
Yeah.
There's ways.
Or
if you want to, you can do it.
Depends. Or if your spouse said, yes, go for it, I'll support you while you're there, you can speed it up. But
what if your spouse could even hold a second job while you go after your education and help you pay for it so that you can spend more time learning and less time? It's just a lot of benefits to marriage where you can accomplish more teamed up and yoked up with somebody that's willing to support you in your dreams.
Yeah. So I think we should stop on this one, and in the next video we'll share the next step or a next point that you would be beneficial.
Yeah.
We'd
love to share more about that.
Get married.
I just scratched the surface.
Yes, this is just the beginning. So we're going to stop here. We want to just make a quick announcement, share with you the one tip that gets you started.
Yep. And by all means, we absolutely do listen to every comment and piece of feedback you give us, and we'll use it to guide us towards what we want to deliver in our future content videos.
Yeah, absolutely. So comment.
So we welcome what you have to say.
Ask questions there. We would love to cover some topics that are actually interested to you. And all right.
See you next time.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Radical Connections TV.
That's great.